I do want to actually do one of these questions for you. So we're going to do one from this grouping over here. So I have to click on that video. But then once you click on it, they do open. So that does mean you could kind of skip the video. Don't do it. You're going to learn a lot by watching those videos. Sorry, I know you're over there, but I'm on my big screen now, so I have to look over here. So let's do one math problem to kind of show you how to type things in on MyLab. Okay, so I know it might be kind of small, but if I do it on my small screen, on my laptop screen, then it's all scrunched together and it's hard for you to see. So look at what this asks us to do. It asks us to determine the slope and the y-intercept of the following equation, then draw the graph. Be sure to check your answer. So it says, oh, what's this weird notation? It's f parentheses x equals -7/2 x plus 6. Okay, I'm going to show you how I'd like you to do this by hand, okay? Do this by hand. Give me just a second to set it up. You should see my OneNote screen. Let me know if you don't. And remember what we're asked to do. We're asked to graph this guy. Okay, the first thing you need to know, this is function notation, and it's explained in the videos. Don't worry about that. It is explained. But just for right now, replace it with y, and then it might be a more familiar problem. So you can think of this as y equals -7/2 x plus 6. And you were asked to find the slope and the y-intercept. And in another class, in another math life, you were told, excuse me, about this equation, y equals mx plus b. And you were told, you may not remember it, but you were told that the slope, which is the steepness of the line, is given by the number multiplied times the x, which m is standing for. And let me close my email here. And then, so that's the slope. And then the y-intercept, the place where the graph of the line, this is going to graph to be a line, crosses the y-axis. That's actually given, well, the y-coordinate of the y-intercept is b. And so it's actually a point with the first coordinate 0, so we call it 0, b. So that's the y-intercept. And if you don't remember this stuff, don't worry. I go over it in the lecture videos. The point is to show you what work to show, to write down for yourself, and then how to type it in to MyLab. That's the point of this example. If you don't quite get everything, that's perfectly fine. So we're going to graph this thing. So let me remind you how to do that. So this is what you'd be doing on paper. For this particular guy, can anybody tell me what the slope is?
-7/2.
You got it. -7/2. And then can anybody tell me what the y-intercept is? It almost looks the same as my
6.
b. Yeah, my b looks like a 6, but it is different, right? It's 0, the number 6, not b. Try to make that look like a number 6. So you may remember how to do this, and if you don't, that's fine. Just get what you can here and then watch the video later on. I'm going to graph this guy. Well, you know, I don't remember if I show you the shortcut in this or just how to graph it using the long way. I think I probably showed you the shortcut, so I'll show you the shortcut here. Everybody wants to know the shortcut anyway. So I'm going to go, remember this first number has to do with values on what we call oftentimes the x-axis, the horizontal axis. This is the coordinate plane. So that's an x value. And that guy is the corresponding y value, which is represented by this line here. We call this the y-axis, and the horizontal line the x-axis. And so the first number in this ordered pair tells us how far to go left or right, which is 0. And then the second number tells us how far to go up or down from, by the way, from the origin, which is that where the two axes cross. So long story short, to plot the point 0, 6, we're going to go over 0, left, right, 0, up 6. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I'm going to plot a point in red. That's the y-intercept. And then, does anybody remember what slope means? What does that mean?
right over.
Right. So either my internet's failing or yours is, but I think I heard you right. It was rise over run. It was probably my internet, because I don't have the best
No, it
internet.
was probably mine. My internet sucks.
Sorry, mine's not that great either. So it's rise. So to go from one point to another point on the line, you rise -7. If you think of the negative as being in the numerator, you could put it in the denominator as well. So okay, what do I mean by that? Well, the opposite. So if you think of the negative as being out front, so the opposite of 7/2, it's the same thing if the negative is in the numerator, -7/2, or if the negative is in the denominator, 7 divided by -2. Those all represent the same number, because when you divide a negative by a positive or a positive by a negative, you divide as usual, and if one of them is negative, it stays negative. So those are all equal to -3.5 is what I'm trying to say. So what does that mean, though? You don't want to change to -3.5 because this top number gives you the rise. So to go from one point to another on the line, you would rise, well, if I look at this one, you would rise -7. And if I look at this one, you would go left or right, in this case, right, you would run 2 to the right. So the shortcut you may recall then from just introductory algebra is, since you already have the y-intercept in red here, you can go down 7, rise -7, down 7, and right 2, run 2. So, okay. I need another, let's see, hash mark or 2 here, scale mark. So that means I'm going to do this. I'm going to go from that y-intercept, I'm going to go down 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, -7. And I'm going to run 2, and I'm going to be right here. And then I'm going to connect the dots, because a line actually only requires 2 points. I'm doing it freehand, so it's a little bit wavy, but that's okay. There you go. That's your line. What point is this guy, right here that we plotted? What's that point? Anybody? What's that point?
EX-intercept.
Not quite. It's actually below it. I know it might be a little small on your screen. It's actually a little below it, isn't it? So what's the y value look like it is?
1.
Let's see. The y value is 1 or -1?
-1, you're right.
Okay, so -1, and then what's the x value appear to be?
+2.
There you go. So 2, -1, it looks like. And then remember what this point was. This point was the y-intercept 0, 6. So in MyLab, those are the 2 points we're going to plot. We're going to input for our answer. You could input any points in the line, but those are the convenient ones to input. Any questions on what I did here? Now, as long as it's just you generally understand it, that's fine, because you will see a repeat of an example like this in the video. So let me switch the screen back to MyLab and show you how to enter this stuff. So, okay. So first of all, click on the box. The slope is, well, we already said what it was. You could go -7, and then just, you could use this menu. Does everybody see the menu of math symbols down here?
Yep.
If you click on more, there's a division, but you don't need to do that. Just hit the / on your keyboard, and it automatically turns it to fraction notation, and type it in that way. And then what you want to do is, we need to scroll down, check the answer. If you can see down here, check answer. Click on that. It says, if it's green, you know you did it right. It says, good job. And then another box comes up. The y-intercept, that was the 0, 6. So just typing that in. X-coordinate first, y-coordinate second, with ordered pairs. And then we hit check answer on that. That's fine as well. And then if we want to graph, you can either graph on here directly. I'm going to try to enlarge the graph so you can see it better. So here's the graph. I don't know if I can make that any bigger. I can't. And so the way you input the graph into MyLab is you click on the kind of graph it is. That turned out to be a line that we just graphed. So you click on the line icon over here. And then look, Do you see the point up here? The ordered pair corresponds with where my cursor is. So if I move my cursor up to 0, 6, and I click my mouse button, my left mouse button, then it locks that point in, 0, 6. Then what was the other one? 2, -1, was it? So move to where your cursor says 2, when this says 2, -1, when you put your cursor on 2, -1, you're in the right spot. And then let's save that. And then we'll check our answer on that. Whoops, didn't like that. And it liked that. So that's more or less how you type in your answers in MyLab. If you have questions on MyLab, you can always ask me about it. But at first it seems difficult to type in your answers, and then you get used to it, kind of like any math problem or anything you learn in life.